Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. In today's video, hopefully this guy will behave for me. He's antsy sitting on his cage, so hopefully he'll be fine sitting here on me. Anyways, so in this video I just wanted to talk about something. I know there's been a lot of videos on YouTube about like low buys and like no buys and stuff like that. I've watched quite a few of them, and I'd never intended to go on a no buy or a low buy, but through the course of just life events and the way I found myself spending money on makeup, he's just gonna talk like this the entire time. The way I just found myself spending money on makeup, I inadvertently, unintentionally kind of went on a low buy. Like, I'm not opposed to buying any makeup at all. I'm just being more thoughtful and careful of what I'm buying, I think. It's really easy to fall into a rut of buying all the newest things that come out because there's so much flying at us, like I can't even keep up. There was a point in time at the end of last year, or maybe it was the middle of last year, that I unsubscribed from a few things on Instagram that were making me feel like I needed to buy things. There's one Instagram page called Trend Mood. I know everyone's probably heard of it, but there was a lot of things on there that I kept seeing, and like, oh, I want to buy this, and oh, I want to buy that, and like it got to be that I was spending money uselessly, needlessly on stuff that I didn't need. I would get stuff in the mail, and I'd be so excited for it, and I'd use it one or two times, and the joy would fade, and then I would be stuck with, like, 20 of the same nude lipsticks, or like an eyeshadow palette that I didn't really need, that I noticed I had similar colors in other palettes that I wasn't using a whole ton of. So they just got to be the point where I was like, I would get a palette I'd be so excited for, like I'd see swatches on one, I thought I needed it. Companies have a really tricky way of laying things out to make you feel like it's new, but not really. So it just basically got really to the point where I was just getting annoyed with myself because I would buy something and I would get it home and I would swatch it on my hand in person, and then I would be like, oh, that reminds me of such and such product that I have. I would take that product that I already had and swatch it right next to it and feel a little silly at how similar the colors were. And I was like, I don't need 20 of the same beige lipsticks that look like no one else will be able to tell that it's like, a different color. What am I trying to say? No one else is gonna know. I don't know where I'm trying to go with that thought. I was a little bit not hesitant to film this, but like I was kind of putting it off because I know my train of thought in my head, and when I go and talk about something, I can kind of like go on a bit of a tangent. I did have write a couple notes down in my phone, so I can more or less keep on my train of thought. So I'm going to apologize in advance if I repeat myself or sound like I'm repeating myself in a couple points. I'm just really trying to get my point across in the most direct way possible. I'm not really used to doing talking videos. I do a lot of tutorials. They seem to be the easiest thing for me to film. But yeah, so let me just glance at my phone here. So yeah, I've already touched bases on like buying multiple products of things that like I already have. Like I hadn't bought a makeup item in over a month, and for me, that was a massive, massive feat. Like every paycheck I'd be like, oh, what can I buy at Sephora this week? Like, it wasn't going to be like a massive splurge, just like, spend $30 here, $40, $50, maybe even $60 sometimes. And like, let's see what new product that I want to buy is. And there got to be a time where I would walk into Sephora and nothing would, like, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. It just kind of like, I didn't have to force myself to stop buying. It kind of I just lost interest. I think the last lip gloss that I had purchased it was one of the Fenty Beauty ones. Maybe it was Fussy, maybe it was Sweet Mouth, but it was something, and I had made a comment. I texted my mom, like, oh, I hadn't bought makeup in so long, like, this was my first purchase in a month. She was so proud of me, like, as stupid as that sounds. I mean, I was pretty happy for myself that I hadn't spent money in a couple paychecks, but, and the more time that went by, the less I missed it. Plus, it helps my case, the fact that I'm not a neutral lover, and a lot of makeup palettes out there are like the same color stories all of the time. Like, it's a lot of neutral with like a couple colors here and there. Like, I have a lot of blue eyeshadows, I have a lot of green eyeshadows, I have more than I ever need of neutral eyeshadows because I don't really wear them. So for my like everyday makeup style, I change my makeup every single day. I do my makeup every single day. I do not wear the same look every single day. It's always changing. Maybe it'll be like once a month where I'll do like something really easy in the crease on like a Sunday morning when I'm going to church, or I'm just going, to do errands. I don't really want to do anything to my face that day. Over the Christmas break, I didn't go anywhere. I took time off work, but I didn't really go anywhere. And that was the first time. I think I took 2 weeks off work. I was also going through a bit of a bad space, but I took 2 weeks off work for vacation holidays, and I found myself like, there'd be some days where I didn't even put on makeup. Like, I would just wake up, maybe slap on some mascara, and I wouldn't wear any makeup. Like, I just got out of the, I'm usually very inspired to do what look I want to do. Like, for instance, tomorrow I'm already planning what color I want to do. Like, these are things, just stupid things I think of in my head. Like, today I wanted to do a golden green look, and I did a golden green look. But there was a couple weeks throughout Christmas time that I wasn't inspired to do anything, and like makeup just wasn't giving me like that satisfaction anymore, which is okay. I think I'm going off one of those tangents again. Let me just regroup and go back to my points. Yeah, I think basically where I was going with that was, I'm the type of person that wears makeup every day. It doesn't wear the same thing every day. So to buy a neutral palette, or to buy, I think what I was just trying to say was there's not a lot out there inspiring me. Next point. There's other stuff that I want to buy in life other than makeup, and I can't do that if I'm spending all my money, not all my money, but if I'm spending, my spending money or like fun money on makeup. Like, I'll go into a store and I'll see a shirt that I want, or I'll see some jewelry or a pair of shoes, or life's essentials that I need to get. And like, I'm not rich like a majority of people out there. Like, they have to choose between like luxury stuff or like other stuff they want to buy. Like, I need clothes. Like, that's just the basic. I'm not gonna walk around naked. No one wants to see that. So I just realized that there was more things that I want to do with my money. I want to start saving. I have personal goals that I want to reach, and I can't do that when I'm constantly trying to buy the latest, brightest, shiniest, prettiest thing, most glitteriest thing out there. Because let's face it, like, you just don't need it, is what I'm coming to realize. It also does help too that there's a lot of other people on YouTube kind of jumping on this train. So that's helpful too. It feels like you have some kind of support, and you're not the only one out there who's like missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out on the newest eyeshadow palette that's just launched. I'm just trying to regroup my thoughts here and move on to my next point. Okay, so that brings me to the next thing. Oh, darn it. Sorry, just trying to... my next point is, when you're constantly getting new things in, the things you once loved 2 months ago get pushed aside, and you don't really use them as much. Like, for instance, like, I'll get a new palette, and I don't really have an example right now. Maybe I'll just use my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. I did get a lot of use out of this, but like, now that, well, it's also not summer and spring, even though I can use those looks, those colors whatever time of the year I want. But basically, like, you use something, it gets pushed aside, you get something new, that's like the newest, shiniest thing, you use that for a little bit, you get something new, that gets pushed aside. Next thing you know, it's been 6 months, and you're like, oh yeah, like, I used to love that palette, and I don't even touch it anymore because there's so much else. Like, you have 2 eyes. If you're like me and you do your makeup every day, that's still only one look a single day, and so many eyeshadows you can fit on your eyeballs that you can use the certain look you want to get. You can only do once a day. 30 days in a month, like, it's just crazy. Yeah, so I want to get more use out of the products that I have and that I loved before. When enough time has passed, this is, I think, what clicked in my mind when I was going through my makeup one day. Enough time had, I think it had been a year since I had touched a palette, and I was like, I spent money on this. And I reached into it maybe once or twice for a specific shadow, and then I don't touch it again for a little while, and then you go back after a certain period of time. Like, for instance, lip glosses. I had so many, I think that's what it was. When I had to go through my Buxom lip glosses because I needed to round them all up because I was giving them a break from my lips because I found they were making my lips peel. And I had opened a couple up to smell them because I love the smell of Buxom lip glosses. And when I had noticed that a couple of them were going rancid and starting to smell off, and I hadn't even used half the container of them, and when I realized how many I had and how, I mean, I used them all, like, more than a handful of times, so, I mean, that's fine. But it just made me realize that, like, all of these lip products that I had that I wasn't using, because I'm literally using the same ones in my everyday makeup bag over and over and over again, I'm trying to rotate through, you know, some of them that are in my go-to lip pile thing here. But I have drawers, not drawers, but I have a couple, I have a drawer, and I have a couple containers full of lip glosses and lipsticks that I'm going to go through, that I'm not wearing anymore, that I'm going to back to MAC, that I'm going to throw out because A, they've gone bad, B, I don't wear the colors, I actually don't really like it, or C, I just found something else that I love more and I'm using more of it, and I'm just like, you can only go through so many lip products before the ones that are oldest go bad, if that makes sense. Yeah, so my note here was when enough time passes that you realize some of your favorite products are going bad because you don't have time to use them, it's kind of eye-opening, at least to me it was. So I wrote that down here because it was kind of like, it was true. Like, there's lip products, some MAC lipsticks that I haven't touched, and just some that I haven't touched in a couple years. I mean, granted, I don't love them anymore, but the Buxom lip glosses that I do love, that, like, I have to throw out because they're just not good anymore. It's just like, oh, like, it really makes you rethink next time you want to buy something like another nude lip gloss. Wait a second, let me go home, let me round up all of my nude lip glosses, swatch them out, see which ones I love. Hey, I'm talking here. And then, if you really need it, or if you really feel like that's going to fill the gap, which out of all the times I've purchased something, it hasn't. I've had the same color, and it didn't make much difference once it was actually on your lips versus in the tube or whatever, blah, blah, blah. My next point is I generally know what I like now, and for me, I buy for formula, not color anymore. I have a couple lipsticks that I do want to replace. It's the MAC Myth and Flesh Pot. I do find I love the colors, like they're my staple nude lips because I like that nude color. But I find them too drawing, so I do have to mix them with a lip balm right now, which is not the end of the world. I mean, if I never found the perfect formula for a nude lip, again, I could continue doing that. I'm thinking the Lawless Beauty ones might be what I want to try next. I'm going to wait for a sale. But that's the thing, like, I have the nudes I like. I rotate through a handful of them. I make a bag full of them. And I'm happy with them. I don't find myself using a lot of the other ones that I'm trying to, like, I have a little pile of makeup that I'm trying to get through. Maybe I'll do a video on that and show you the makeup I'm trying to use up before it expires. I think that could be a cute video. Let me know. Also, I'm getting older now, and the products that I loved and worked for me like 3 years ago, I know that's a long time to have makeup, but let's be realistic. A lot of us have makeup that's more, maybe even older than that. The same products that I was using 3 years ago don't work the same way anymore. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to go grab my little beast. Okay, I'm all back. Yeah, so the same products that worked for me 3 years ago are not working for me the same way anymore. My skin's changed, my lips have changed, my eyelids have changed, things are just not working the same. So I think that also helps it easier to, like, narrow down products. Don't know where I was going with that either, but anyways. I just wrote down a note here that I don't need 20 different red lips when I only wear, like, a red lipstick maybe twice a month, and I have basically all the undertones I need. I have like a red one, I have an orange base red, and I have a pink base red. I don't need any more. I mean, if I find those lip products drying, I can always go and find a new one that doesn't make them drying, but I'm not going to buy for, like, color. It all looks the same. I also don't need 30 different nude lipsticks when the same 5 that I rotate through with different undertones work perfectly fine. I have a pinky nude, I have a more neutral nude, and then I have a more like peachy nude. I think I'm good. And that's the other thing too. I was finding myself getting annoyed. I was finding I was getting annoyed with myself. What's up? I was getting annoyed with myself because I would buy a nude lipstick. In the store it would look different. I'd get it home and I'd start swatching nude lipsticks next to each other and they would look like exactly the same as another one I had. And I was like, seriously? I just spent $20 or $25 on something. Like, I mean, Sephora in Canada has a really good return policy that you can return it. I mean, I think if you do it too many times, it's going to send red flags and they're going to, like, put a stop to you or something like that. That's never happened to me. I don't want it to happen to me. But regardless, and the worst thing about being annoyed with yourself is only you can change you, which no one else can do it. You have to do it. So if you keep making the same mistake, it can kind of get frustrating. Yes! So I think my plan going forward is to figure out what's missing from my collection and then go from there. For example, eyeshadow-wise, if I'm looking for like a specific shade, maybe try and find a single or a smaller palette that doesn't cost in the upwards of $50 or $60. Like I think right now I'm looking for a few different like minty greens for like the springtime. I know ColourPop just came out with the one, but it's sold out, so I can't get that. No, you're gonna fly if you go to my shoulder. I know Makeup Geek just rebranded their thing, but I'm, like I said, like, that's the other thing that I find so annoying, is shopping online, you can never really tell what the actual color looks like until you get it in the mail, and then when you buy from, like, Makeup Geek or, like, ColourPop, I don't think you can return it, so it's, like, money wasted. So to me, it's easier to buy from, like, MAC or Sephora when you can actually go there and see it in person versus online, which also makes it harder for shopping when certain things are online only. It really sucks. Sometimes I don't feel bad though for like companies that are online. Like say Sephora, if you can buy it online and they don't have it in store at all, and if I don't like it, I don't feel bad returning it because like, well, you made me buy it online because you didn't sell it in store, you didn't provide us with proper swatches, so here, I don't feel bad returning this because it was misleading or whatever, blah blah blah. Mini rant. Anyways. Okay, so figure out what's missing and buy single eyeshadows. I have that here. I never use, that's the other thing too, I'm getting annoyed with myself because I never really use every single color in a palette. Like, for example, in this Natasha Denona palette that I just bought, I mean, okay, I think the only color I'll never use in this one is probably this first shade, because it's too dark for my, maybe in the summer I will. Okay, maybe this is a bad example of I'll never use a single color in the palette. I probably will. I don't really have a good example right now that I can think of off the top of my head without making this video too long. But my other point was I'll actually never hit pan on any eyeshadow in a palette. That's a lie, because my Naked 3, well here's the thing, see? I have this entire palette from my Naked 3 palette, and the only one I'm hitting pan on is this one here, this Strange. That one just fell out. But yeah, the rest of them haven't even hit pan. So, yeah, it's like, really? No. My Brulee shade from MAC, my single thing here, I've actually had to purchase that 3 or 4 times because that's one I actually use every day, but it's a single, so I don't feel bad. I use it all up and then buy it again. Anyways, I think that's basically the gist of it. I'll never hit pan on 90% of my eyeshadows because I do my makeup different every single day. It's never the same. I mean, I don't think I'll ever hit pan on a red eyeshadow. I've never hit pan on a blue eyeshadow or even a green eyeshadow. But yeah, basically just going forward, my makeup videos, sorry, not my makeup videos, my YouTube channel is basically, it's going to be about tutorials, about using up stuff you have, products I've used up, just stuff like that. I'm going to try and think of different video ideas to kind of like keep it interesting. But again, I'll do looks, like I'm not against buying things, but I'm only gonna buy it if it like fits within my criteria. Hopefully. I don't want to say that and then, you know, 3 months down the road or a month down the road I buy an eyeshadow palette. I'm like, guys, I got something, didn't really need it, but you know, I'm not gonna say that's never gonna happen because I'm human and I have weaknesses, and shiny, sparkly things are my weakness. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video interesting. I just wanted to share my thoughts and put my thoughts out there on this whole low-buy thing that I've noticed a lot of people. I mean, it's not new. I wanted to do my version of a low-buy. But yeah. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found it interesting and maybe took something away from it. Maybe it helped someone with thinking that maybe a low buy or no buy could be something that they want to do. When I first started seeing these videos, I was like, that sucks to be them. Like, that sucks not wanting to buy makeup or not putting yourself on a low buy or like not letting yourself buy makeup. But here I am in the position where like I don't feel like I'm being deprived. I'm just doing something that just naturally kind of happened. Anyways, again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys, or you'll see me, in the next one. Bye!